the games business. When the games business settled, we started our PLM business. When the PLM business has settled over 2-3 years, I was very active with that, but now I'm doing the product business and so on. Product business is kind of stabilizing, and I now have these acquisitions to work with. So I remember I was talking to my CEO, I report to the group CEO, and I was telling him this, that I have 2 people reporting, and then I can do these kind of new initiatives. So he said, his remark was, this is music to my ears, that you can free yourself, because otherwise typically what happens is the entrepreneur tries to keep everything tightly controlled, because the feeling is that I have to do it, nobody else can probably do it, and that is not true at all. So actually I call it, I have a name for this model as well. We call it the disruptive and operational model. So what I mean by that is that if something becomes operational, pass it on to the operations, they will take care of it, they will take better care of it actually. And whereas you move on to something that is disruptive, because there is likelihood of failure. In your team typically people don't want to fail. It's very difficult for people to want to fail. So you move on to things that are likely to fail, and then you do those things, but do those fully. So when I, for example, this PLM business that we started with, it was a new model. And I had taken full responsibility for the first 6 months, meaning everyday meetings with the customer, calls with the customer, every week meetings with the customer, because there was a different model that we had brought in there, which was an output-based model. So I should give some background on the Siemens PLM.
I think this one is very, very interesting. So Giri invented pay-as-you-go, the SaaS model for testing outsourcing business. Yeah. I think that's very interesting.
Okay. I kind of digress. I'll come back to that acquisition question. But leading to that acquisition was this part which we did for Siemens PLM. So as I was saying, when the games business had settled, we had to do something new. And so I started, we were working with Siemens PLM in a small mode already. Siemens PLM, by the way, is a Pune West captive offshore of Siemens PLM, which is a US company. It's the largest engineering center. They have products called Teamcenter, which is an NX, which is like engineering CAD, CAM and PLM products, leading products in the world. These are huge products, 20-year-old legacy, and thousands of customers and so on. So you can imagine the regression testing problem that they have. So they knew automation was a solution, but how to scale that automation was a problem. How to go from their successful pilot of 100 test cases automated to tens of thousands of test cases. So we offered them a model called Test Factory, which is an assembly line. I will not go into the details of all that. But one of the key things that we offered there was output-based pricing. And the reason to do that was, they said this factory model is all fine, we'll scale it up and all that. What is the proof of this is going to work? So I said, you pay only for successful automation. So we give you the test case, you count the test cases, you pay as per the test cases that are automated or executed and so on. Don't worry about how many people are working. So we call that the factory model. Now this was dramatically different from the business that we were doing earlier, which was all time and material. So the operations was hesitant to take that up, and that's why I took that up. And like I said, for the first 6 months we did that. We did a calibration phase to come up. How do you come up with that output-based pricing for that unit? So you have to do a calibration phase, and then you do that. My experience was that there was a lot of fight in the first 6 months. But after 6 months, we actually took a formal meeting with Siemens and transferred it to operations formally, so CEO being the head of it. And let me tell you, after that, it has run even better, profitably and so on and so forth. So that was, validation for me that yes, in the initial period, you got to do this disruptive activity yourself. But once it gets operationalized, hand it over to operations and you move on to something else. So this worked well for the company also. We still have a global partnership with Siemens. It's a very successful. Siemens has allowed us to, it's a large US company, but it has allowed us to publish it as, as a case study. And today Siemens is head of their Teamcenter business. In their keynotes, actually talk about SQS publicly. That SQS is our testing partner, our customer should go to them. One of the first instances this happened, I was sitting in the audience and Steve Bashada was the VP of that Teamcenter. Actually, Giri, where are you? Stand up. Around 2,000 people there, and he made us stand. And so this actually doesn't happen. So it's been a very successful partnership because of this kind of an innovative approach that we have taken. And believe me, it was also much more interesting for me to do it that way. Because otherwise, I could have easily got bored doing the same thing again and again. So trying to do these kind of things has actually helped me. So what I've realized now is that even, so you asked earlier this question, 5 years, how are you still here? This is one of the reasons that you continue to do this thing, because every year you're doing something new. And so I firmly believe that even when you get acquired by a larger company, all these companies severely lack in this entrepreneurial skilled people. So if you do something there are lots of opportunities to do even within a larger organization. It is not necessary that you got to come out after 2 years and then try something new, what we call serial entrepreneurship. You mentioned earlier that I'm a serial entrepreneur. Actually, I'm not. I've been in the same company from day one. Just the name of the company has changed from time to time. So it was Caracan,
reincarnation getting better.
Yes, right. So, and in fact, I got validation of this in Steve Jobs' book actually. He also talks about growing the organization rather than serial entrepreneurship. So if you look at, so a couple of examples from Steve Jobs' autobiography. This is one thing, that he also believes in growing the organization rather than just serial entrepreneurship. I mean, I can completely understand the serial entrepreneurship part, because I think these are people who are driven by technology, let's say. And then one technological success and then the other one and so on. I was probably not that enamored by technology, because growing the organization, this is what Steve Jobs. The other example of Steve Jobs also, have you ever wondered, he's running this multi-billion-dollar company, and then he's still working with this 50 to 100 people team, developing this iPad or iPod or whatever is the new product. I think somebody in Apple in their board figured out that he should not be in the operations. You should let Steve Jobs run his new product, and somebody like Tim Cook was doing the operations part, and that is why. So that was validation for me again of this disruptive and operational model. So I read it afterwards, but for me it was a validation. So I'm sorry, I'm digressing too much. What was the question?
You haven't answered the $1 million question.
Yeah.
If you have to acquire another company, what is that you might do?
Okay. So first of all, SQS would always look for testing only companies. That's our DNA. That's our place in the market. If we start doing everything, then there are much larger companies. So ThinkSoft was an excellent acquisition because they are a pure play testing company, and within that they're focused on banking. So for us, it's a
banks. Focused on
banking and financial. So it's a wonderful acquisition, because now Chennai, that is ThinkSoft, will focus on banking, and Pune will focus on telecom, manufacturing, retail, all these other verticals that we are doing. Both are, headcount wise, we are about 600-700 people. They are about 800 people. Both will grow significantly, organically as well. And so, what now will be of interest? If it's a See, when I started testing, because testing itself was unique. Right?
Yeah.
Now, of course, testing is mainstream. So now there has to be something unique within testing. So we, for example, found gaming, ThinkSoft in banking. So if we have to be interested in a company, we have to have something that unique that they bring to the table. Right? Because scale is there already. So, and I'm pretty sure that entrepreneurs will come up with some specific idea within testing that could be of certain interest. A lot of interest around verticals. Because once you move away from the horizontal offering, vertical, I talked about vertical, right? Banks, retail, and so on. So that is becoming more and more important. Understanding the business of that vertical before you say that you will validate, you will do the testing. It's so much more important than saying that we write good test cases and we do automation and we do load testing. That doesn't differentiate you anymore. So it's the business that you are claiming to be in. Knowing that business is so much more important. So we are looking around those kind of ideas. So I talked about this product testing. This product testing also towards. So we test the Siemens PLM product team center. That's why we know what the requirements of the PLM customers are, and that's why we're able to test. So ThinkSoft, for example, has a lot of assets around the banking products, like Temenos and like all these banking, but they build assets. And that's what takes them to their customers. So this is again a good idea. If you build expertise on the products in a particular domain, that gives you a lot of traction into the customers of those products. So I can't talk specifically what we're looking for, but I think this would have given you an idea that there are lots of opportunities to even further specialize, create some kind of an IP. IP doesn't have to be a original product, but any kind of